I fetched the data in the object. I wrote a DML, performed insertion or updation or deletion on the data. So all the programs, whatever I wrote till today, all of them are dealing with the data in the table. Now we want to deal with the metadata, structure of the data. What objects are there? In every object, what fields are there? If you have a field, what is the data type of the field? Do you have a read permission on the table? Do you have a write permission on the table? Okay, what type of access you want to, what type of access you have on the object? Till now, what we are doing, going to the profile. From the profile, we are modifying, we are checking what type of access I have. Now, I don't want to go to profile. Straight away, I want to verify what type of access I have. So, if you want to check your metadata, a type of permissions you have on the metadata, then we go for schema programming. Now, how do you write the schema programming? Let us take an examples of this. Have you received the hard copy of triggers? Right? Received? Received means received, boss. Right. Okay. Now let us see this. If I say account, contact, opportunity, all these are referred as what? This object. If I say account, account is a class in the Apex. In the Apex, what is that account? It is a class. It is a class. Now, when I say account, it will throw error message. If I want to use a class, what should I do? You are supposed to create an instance of the class, then only we can use it. Am I right or wrong? If we want to use a class, we are supposed to create an instance of a class, then only we can use it. When I create an instance called ACC, I want to know this instance belongs to which as object. This class referring to which as object. You created an instance of a class, but this is referring to which as object. Now, for every object, internally there is a Apex class. If you want to use a class, we are supposed to create an instance. If you know the instance, from the instance I want to know which object is that. Then how do you get it? Now, if I want to know which object is this, I will say acc.get this object. acc.get as object. acc.get as object. So it is saying which type of S object is that. It is saying which type of S object is that. acc.get S object type. It is specifying which type of S object is that. Which type of S object is that. So let me give you this. Now I am saying acc.get S object type. Execute. When I execute, let us see what is the output we are getting. What was that? Account. ACC belongs to S object type account. ACC belongs to S object type account. Now you are calling account as S object. Contact as S object. Now, what type of S object is this? If I want to know what type of S object is this, now it is of type account.S object type. Contact is of type. Contact is class. Okay, contact class is of type contact.S object type. Now every object has a class. Now the class is of type what? Account.S object type. This class is of type account. This class is of type contact. Account.S object type. Contact.S object type. So for every object we have internally an Apex class. Looking at the Apex class, I want to know which type of S object is this. Every object in the database, every table in the database have equivalent Apex class in the Salesforce. Looking at the class, I want to know which type of object is that. Then the class name dot S object type. Account is of type account dot S object type. Contact dot S object type. Are you getting my point here? How do you refer? Account dot S object type, contact dot S object type. The quick point here is, if you know it is an account, you write account. If you know it is a contact, you write as contact. If I know it as account, I'll write account. If I know it as contact, I'll write contact. If you know it as opportunity, we'll write as opportunity. If you are not sure what type of object is this, I'll write as S object. S object will take every type of object. S object will take every type of object. So similarly, we have account dot S object type. If you know it's account dot S object type, contact dot S object type. Then, if you are not sure, schema dot. If you are not sure about what type of object you are referring to, schema dot S object. Have you received the point? Clear about this point here? Okay. Okay. Now what I want to do is, once I got this, I want to get the properties of the object. When I say property, what do you mean by property? Whether it is a standard object or not, whether it is a standard object, whether it is a custom object, whether it is a standard object, whether it is a custom object. If it is a object, is it a custom setting, custom metadata? Okay, do you have read permission on this? Do you have write permission on this? Do you have edit permission? All these things you want to do. You want to get the properties. You want to get the properties, whether it's a standard or a custom setting. Do you have a read permission? Do you have a write permission? Do you have query permission? Do you have search permission? Do you have update permission? Do you have delete permission? Is it queryable? Is it most recently used data is available or not? All these are properties. So how do you get the properties? So I want to fetch the properties of an object. So how will you get the properties? If you want to get the properties, we have a predefined Apex class called schema.describe S object result. When you get the properties, all the properties of the object are available in schema.describe S object result. Schema.describe S object result. Schema.describe S object result. Schema.describe S object result. Let me show you. Try to understand this example, boss. First, I am creating map of string comma object. Now, why did I take object? Because some properties will be Boolean, some properties will be string, some properties will be number. So I am not sure what type of property we are going to get. Now, do you have a read permission or not? True or false? What is the object name? Text. What is the label name? Text. Do I have queryable permission or not? Boolean. So when you are getting a data of multiple type, what is the data type I have to take? Object. If you know it's a string, I will take string. If you know it's an integer, I will take integer. If you know it's a Boolean, I will take Boolean. When you are not sure, if you are not sure, I have to take object. Now I told you account, I will take account. Contact, I will take contact. When you are not sure what type of object is that, S object. When it is integer, I will take integer. String, I will take string. Okay, Boolean, I will take Boolean. When I am not sure, I will take object. Okay, I hope you are good with that point. Let us go to the next. Public. Now, schema dot subject. equal to which object data you want to get? Account. Which object? Account as object data you want to get. Account dot as object type. Now if you want a properties, how do you get it? Schema dot describe. What this will contain? This will contain all the methods required for fetching the data, fetching the properties. This will contain all the methods required for fetching the properties. Which object properties you want to get? Account object. Account dot as object. If I give only account, it is a class. Account dot as object type. Account dot as object type dot get describe. Account dot as object type dot get describe. Account dot as object type dot get describe. Get the description about an object. Right, we got the description. Now we want to take one by one property. How will you take it? Result map equal to new map of label. Result dot get the label of the object. Label name. Now we have is creatable. Now I have readable. Do you have read access? Is accessible. Update is updatable. So it is giving all the properties: read, create, read, update. So we have custom. Custom setting. Then we have label, name, creatable, read, update, delete, and delete, custom setting. Most recently, enable or not. Query is enabled or not. Do you have a permission to query the data? All these are properties of the object which I am getting. Before I write a query on the object, I want to check whether I have permission to write a query on this or not. Can I post a charter feed? Now we can also get get object code. What was that? Key prefix. So all these are what? A single line of statement. Get a description about the object. Account.subject_type get describe. Get the description. Where is the description stored? Description is stored in schema.describe subject result. So what is that schema.subject result? Contain date required written properties of the object. This is how we are given. Now let us go to the Visual Force page. This is how we got it. So what we have here? Code. What is the object code? Account 001. Do you have a create permission? Yes. Is it a custom object? Okay, no. Is it a custom setting? No. Delete? Yes. Feed enable? Yes. Label name account. Most recently used enable? Yes. Name account. Queryable, readable, updatable, undelete. Now all these are what? Properties. Properties of the given object. All these are what? Properties of the given object. All these are properties of the given object. Are you clear about this? Now what I am trying to get? I am not interested on the object. I'm not interested on the data in the object. I'm interested on the properties of the object. Metadata or schema means referring to the properties of an object. How will you get? Object type dot get describe. It is going to give you the result in the form of schema dot describe object result. Schema dot describe object result. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone? Okay. Next. Now what I am doing here? I am fetching the properties of object. Now if you give me object, can you get me all the fields? Now next is I will give the object how to get the fields. Why? Look at this. Now I am going for a, let us say, opportunity. When I click on create new view, how are you getting all these? All these are what? Fields of opportunity. How are you getting all these fields? If I select opportunity fields are coming. Contact fields are coming. Right? How are you getting this? It is a schema programming. Based on the object what I selected, you are supposed to get the corresponding fields. Whichever the object I have selected, corresponding object fields I have to get it. So how will you get the fields of a given object? I'm trying to get fields. How will you get list of now? How do you refer to the object? If you want to refer to the object, we referred. This is to refer to the object. If you want to refer to a field, if I want to say object, account.s object type, contact.s object type, when you are not sure, schema.s object. Similarly, for the field, how do you refer? Schema.s object field. Schema.s object field. Schema.s object field. Schema.s object field. I hope you are good. Schema.s object field. Okay. Now, in the object, first what should I do? Fetch the properties of an object. How do you fetch the properties? Schema.describe s object result. Get the description. Once you got the description, then I was supposed to get the fields. How do you get the fields? Field, is it going to be one field or a group of fields? Now object will have group of fields. So I need to get the field and the corresponding properties. I was supposed to get fields. Am I going to get one field or a group of fields? I am going to get a fields here. I am going to get a fields here. It is a group of fields. When you are getting a group of fields, it will be in the form of map, name of the field, comma, type of the field. Name of the field and the corresponding field. Name of the field and the corresponding field. So what was that? Field map equal to result. What is result? Object description. Whichever the object I have taken, that object description dot, in the description about the object, in the properties of the object, we have fields. Dot get map. Create a map with field name as key. Well, in the description, we have fields, so which I am using. So description dot fields get map. So get all the fields in the form of map. Now, what is the key, Amma? What is the key? I told create a map with field name as key and field as value. So if I say key is equal to field map dot key. So what I'm going to get? This will run all the. If field name is the key, if the field name is the key, when I say key set, what I'm going to get? All the field names I'm going to get. I told field name is the key. When I say key set, what will be coming? In the map, what is key set? Written all the keys. What are the keys here? Written all the keys. What are the keys here? Field names. Field names are the keys. So it is going to give all the field names. But the problem here is, I cannot display set in the VF page. So I have to convert them into okay. I just given this step to convert the set into map, set into list, because in the VF page I cannot display a set. Now we go to the fields here. ID is deleted, MasterCard, billing state. What all these things? All these are the fields of the given object. All these are the fields of the given object. So if you know the object name, programmatically, how do you get the fields? If you know the object name, programmatically, how do you get the name? If you know the object name, programmatically, how will you get the fields? If you know object name, programmatically, how do you get the fields? Right. So what was that? Description about the object. First, get the description about the object. From the description, I am going to give description of the object. Then result dot fields dot get map. Result dot fields dot get map. Results dot fields dot get map. Results dot result dot fields dot get map. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone. Right, boss? People followed this. People followed. Okay. Now the point is, if I give a field, I want to check whether it's a pick list or not. If I give a field, if it is a pick list, get me the options of the field. Now what was the story? Look at this. Now you told opportunity. Here if I take stage name or any stage, what are you getting here? Because stage is a pick list. When I select this, we are getting a list of options in the pick list, which I was able to select. Right? So when I choose a pick list, it has to give me, if I give a pick list, it has to give me options in the pick list. Now first of all, I want to check whether it is a pick list or not. If it is a pick list, get me the options. If it is a pick list, get me the options. If it is a pick list, get me the options. Are you getting my point? Is it a pick list? If yes, get me options of the pick list. Now, how do you get the properties of a field? You know what is a field. If you know the field, how do you get the properties? When is a property, what is the label name of the field? Name of the field, data type of the field. Is it a formula field? Is it a lookup field? Is it a master detail field? Okay, is it a readable file? Is it a roll-up summary field? Okay, do you have read? Do you have write? Is it a pick list? Now all these are what? Properties of a field. How will you get the properties of the field? Boss, here the program is only 2 lines. Rest all are what? Properties. Rest all are properties. Whichever the property you want, use that function. Program is only 2 lines. Get describe. Get describe. It will give a description. From the description, get whatever the property you want. As simple as that. But remaining what we are explaining, all these are what? Properties of the functionalities of that field. Now, if you want to go for it, we have schema dot describe. If it is an object, I told describe. If it is an object, describe S object result. If it is a field, describe field result. If it is an object result. If it is a field result. If it is an object, S object result. If it is a field result. In the field result, again we have what? Number of right. Now we have all these properties. What is the default value? Default value for formula, digits, inline, we have inline edit, label name, length of the field, local name, get name, all these are property. Here we are interested on get type. What type of field is this? Get type. When you say get type, it will give you type of the field. Get the description. From the description, get the property called get type. When you say type, we are going to say schema dot boolean, schema dot display type dot boolean, combo box, currency, date. Similarly, we have pick list. Or is it a reference? Text area. Now, what is the other one? We have combo box, currency, date type, email. Okay, we'll check out this. What is the first one? Fetch the properties. Fetch the properties of the given object or given field. Fetch the properties of the given field. How do you fetch the properties of the given field? Schema dot describe field result. So what we have? Schema dot describe field result. So we are going to define the properties. Field result equal to which object I am taking? Account dot industry dot get. In account object industry field get describe. In account object industry field get describe. In account object industry field description. Once you got the description, I am going to check here. If result dot get type equal to schema dot display type list. If this field is of type pick list. Now you got the description. If the field is of type pick list, then we are supposed to get the options. List of schema pick list. What was that? If it is a pick list field, we are supposed to get the options in the pick list. Every option is called one entry. Every option is called one entry. Now what will we have? Group of entries. Pick list will have group of options. Every option is called one pick list entry. Now it is a list of pick list entry. In the pick list field, every option is one entry, one pick list entry. So it is a group of pick list options. So we have schema dot pick list entry. Is equal to what I should do? Result dot. So what we have? Get pick list values, I guess. Yeah. Get pick list values. So get me all the options in the pick list field. Once you got the option, what I can do? I'll go with pick list entry. Then I have options dot add. Try to get the point. First one. What did you do here? Fetch the properties of a given field. Then what you are doing? Check whether the given field is pick list field. If it is a pick list field, get the options from the field. Get pick list values, get the options. Once you got the options, take one by one option. Every option will have what? Every option will have what? Okay, instead of this, I'll give a map. Then what we do? Options dot put get label, comma. Every pick list will have what? Label and value. Now, it is a basic concept of pick list, boss. In the select option, how did you give? Item value, item label. Every pick list will have item value, item label. Here also, what did you get? List of pick list. Now, each pick list will have what? Item label, item value. Label I am keeping as a key, value I am putting as a value in the map. Did you get my point? So, what did I do? Get the description. Get the description. There are only 3 lines of code. People are keeping question mark. What is that? Get name of the object, field of the object, describe. We got the description. Then I need to know whether it's a pick list or not. Field can be a pick list, field can be a number, field can be a text. I verified whether it's a pick list or not. If it's a pick list, then I told get me all the options in the pick list. Take one by one option, created a map. Now go to this. Dereference and null object, line number 13. What is line number 13 here, boss? Options. I have not assigned the memory for options. Issue is here I have not closed the comments. I assigned a memory, but it was within the comments. Now what is it? Agriculture, apparel, banking, biotechnology, all these are what? Options. All these are the options in the pick list field. Right? I hope you are good. So we've seen how to get the properties of an object. After getting the properties of an object, how to get the fields of an object. After getting the fields, how to get the properties of a field. In the field, if it is a pick list, how to get the options of the field. This is what is the specification. Now, I want to know what are the objects that are there in the entire Salesforce. In this application, what are the objects are there? I want to fetch each and every object. I want to fetch each and every object available in the database. Now, once you logged in, now we are going for a data loader. Once you go for a data loader, you get a list of all the objects, right? Now, I want to get all the list of objects which are in data loader. I want to get a list of all the objects which are in data, okay, which are in organization. I want to display. When you go to import wizard, when you go to export, when you go to data loader, you'll be getting all the list of objects. Now I want to get all the objects. So how to fetch all the objects from the database? Let us go to the next one. Objects. It's only a few lines of codes, but we should know where to apply. This is generally used for building generic programming. When you go for any product level development, I will not go with the object specific, I will go with a generic. So that I don't know whether user is going to select account or contact or opportunity or customer or loan or payment. Now I cannot build a separate functionality for account, separate functionality for customer, separate functionality for contact, separate functionality for loan. My program should run for everything. Then what will you do? Then I'll go for this generic. Whenever I'm going for a product level development, the generic programming will be used. Whenever I'm going for a product level development, the generic program will be used. Schema example. Now, look at the point. Map of first. Create a map with object name as key. Create a map with object name as key, object as value. Create a map with object name as a key and object as a value. Create a map with object name as a key and object as a value. Map, object name. Object type is what? Schema dot. Then get all the objects. How do you get all the objects? Schema dot get global describe. When you say schema dot get global describe, it will give you all the objects available in the Salesforce in the form of map. Schema dot get global describe. This will give you all the objects available in the schema in the form of map. All the objects available in the database in the form of map it is going to give you. Now if you want only keys, what I will do? Set of objects dot add all. I got all the objects. Now just I want to display the names. What happened? Contract, order, we are able to get all the objects. List of all the objects that are there in your database. Now the problem is, I don't want all the objects, boss. I want only custom objects. When I told schema dot get global describe, when I told schema dot get global describe, you are getting all the objects. I don't want all the objects. I want only custom object. Then how will you achieve? Right. Till here you are good with this, right? What was this? The two lines are clear. What was that? Schema dot global describe means get every object in the database in the form of map. Key set means we are going to get only keys. Keys are nothing but object name. Now, can I take a loop like this for string S? So what does it mean? I am taking one by one object name. In the map, if I give object name, what I am going to get? It is a map of object name comma object type. If I give object name, I will get object type. If I give object name, I am going to get object type. If I give object name, I am going to get object type. So what I can do? Is object type is equal to object map dot get of S. Corresponding object. If you know object type, can I get the description? Get the description. How do you get the description? Schema dot describe object dot get the description. Once you got the description, what I will do? If result dot is, I am verifying, is it a custom object? We have a description. In the description, we have a function called, is custom. If it is a custom, then we have objects dot add Now what did I do? I got the description of an object. Now check whether object is custom. If object is custom, add the object name to the list. Then go back to the VF page and see. What did I receive? List of custom objects. Once again, I'll explain from beginning. Right. Then what I told, get the description. Get the description about the, get all the objects. Get all the objects from the schema. How will you get it? Get a global list. Then take one by one object, get all the object names. How you get it? Okay. Take one by one key. Take one by one key and get one by one key. What I'm doing here, schema dot object equal to get the object map dot get of object name. If you give object name, you're going to get the corresponding object. Then fetch the description. How do you fetch the description? Schema dot describe s object result equal to, we're going to get obj dot get. Then after getting description, check whether object is a if result dot is custom. If it is a custom object, then add object name to the list. Add the object name to the list. Objects dot add s. Right, boss? First get all the objects, then get the object names, take one by one object, then get the corresponding s object, then get the properties, verify whether it's a custom or not. If it is a custom, add them to the list displayed. This is how we got the properties. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Here we also need to understand one more property which will be helpful to you. No. So here we have fields, field sets also we can have get child relations, and also one concept here, get a record type infos by name, get record types info by name, get record types info by id, get record types info. These are the some of the functionalities which will be helpful to you. Now I want to know what are the record types available on this object. I want to know what are the record types which are available on this object. I want to know what are the record types which are available on this object. Now you have taken object, what are the record types available? Then what we say? Get record type info. This will give you a list of record types supported by this object. What record types are there in this object? Now we also want to know the same. I want to know record type with record type info. Record type with record type info. That is a list of record types. I want to have a record type name as a key, record type info as a value. Then I can say get record type infos by developer name. Then we get what? We'll get in the form of string record type name following information. Following information. Are you getting my point here? Now I want to get record types, record type with a record type name as a key, 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 and record type as a value. We'll use this. Now what is the next one we had here? Record type info by id, record type id as a key, record type as a value. This functionality will be helpful to you. Okay, in the object properties, one of the functionalities, how do you get the list of record types available on this object? So give the schema definition dot get record type info, get record type info, or you can say get record type info by developer name, or get record types info by name. This you can use it. Basically this will be more helpful to you. Record type infos by name. So name we get as a key, info we get as a value. If you know name of the record type, that is easy for us to access it. Are you getting my point? This will be one extra useful functionality, because when you are making a dynamic pages, you are making a dynamic pages. When you are making a dynamic pages, generally when you create a record type, what will happen? When I click on new, when I click on new button, we get a page. The page, some information will be available here. Standard record type, if we take, some info will be available here like this. Here we get an option called record type. Am I right or no? Right? There I have to choose the record type, that takes you to next step. I don't want to have this extra step, boss. When you click on the new, we are getting a record type option page. When you select that, it will take you to the page. Now I don't want to have this. I don't want to have this. Then what I will do? I will create my own custom page. When you create your own custom page, I want to create a tab. When you click on the tab, corresponding page will open. When you click on the tab, corresponding page will open. Now customer page. Okay, distributor page. But internally, when they are saved, they should be saved as what? Internally, when they are saved, they should be saved as what? Record type customer, record type distributor. Now, I don't want to create an option like this. What I want to do is, I want to create two tabs here. Or else, I'll be creating whatever the common data is there, that the common data I'll put it. Then I'll give type. Whatever the common data is there, that the common data I'll keep. Then I'll keep a type. The moment you choose the type, based on the type, remaining fields will be coming. So in both the record types, some common data will be there, right? In both the record types, some common data will be there. That common data will display, and I'll show the field called type on the top. The moment I choose a type equal to distributor fields will come here. What all other distributor fields are there? If I choose a customer fields will come. When they are saved, page is only one. When they are saved, if type is distributor, record type should be distributor. So record type ID equal to distributor ID. If type is employee, record type ID should be employee. Now how will you achieve this? On change. In the type, when the value of the type is changed, automatically at the back end, the action functionality will run, action support or action function, they will hide or unhide the other data. Are you getting my point here? Are you getting? So here record type IDs are important to you. There, how do you get the record type IDs? On the object, we can write a query and get the record type IDs. Because here I will display list of record types which are available on this object. When I'm showing this list of record types which are available on this object, they should be displayed according to the current user. According to the current user who logged in, what are the record types visible to him? Those record types should be displayed here. I should not display every record type. As per the current user who logged in, whichever the record types are visible to him, only they should be given. How will you get? Schema programming. When you write a schema programming, with respect to the current user who logged in, the properties will be shown to you. I can write a SQL query on record type. If I write a SQL query on record type, all the record types will come. I don't want all the record types because every record type may or may not be visible to every profile. Every record type may or may not be visible to every profile. There is a reason I have to get the record types with respect to the current user who logged in. How will you get? Again, schema dot get the description of the object, then get record type info. Then we get the record type infos, put it. I hope you are good. Clear? Okay. Then one more concept that will be helpful to you. When you are writing a formulas, when you are writing a formula, I want to know what are the corresponding child objects which are there for me. What are the corresponding child objects? So what we do? Get child relations. Get child relation. This will give you list of the object names which are child to you. Now a simple example, boss. Open any one of the record. How are you getting this? Child of that. Now you want to design a page which will show all the chains. Now will you know it? You can go get child. Now we are looking at the VI. Now the same product level if you want to build. The schema program generally used at product level only, not at the basic level. Okay. So in the product level, if user select any object, I have to display a list of all the corresponding child objects. How will you display? The schema programming will be used. So when you want to make it generic, there is a schema programming. Let me give you a couple of other examples. You are writing a workflow rules, right? Otherwise, let us say you are create objects. How are you getting this? When you click on the objects, you are getting a custom objects. How are you getting this? Schema programming. Okay. Now we are going with a workflows. How are you getting this? How are you getting this? Again, what was that? Schema programming. Schema programming. Now I selected, let us say, now. How are you getting this? How are you getting this? Schema programming. Now they have designed it. We are using it. The similar type of functionality when you want to build, how will you build? With a schema. Now you submitted the record for a problem. Okay, let us go to the next step. Reports you are creating. Now you want to design your own tool for creating a report. How will you begin? Schema programming. Data loader was there. How the data was built? Schema programming. Your workbench is there. How the workbench is built? Schema programming. Now wherever you are accessing the metadata, internally what programming is used? Schema programming. Any third-party system from where you are accessing Salesforce data, from where you are accessing the Salesforce data, inserting the data, updating the data, they require schema programming. First, they have to get all my data. Now, every ETL tool used, every ETL tool that is used require what? Schema programming. Every ETL tool require schema programming. Now, you want to upload the data. When you want to upload the data, how will you upload the data? First, you should know the object. List of objects, if they show you one of the object I am going to select, I am going to insert or update or delete. But how will you get all the list of objects? Schema programming, right? Wherever we want to go with the product level, we'll go with the schema. Schema programming will give you access to metadata. I hope you're good. Okay. Now this is only to add up some weightage on your resume. Okay. Practically you using it